Okay, folks, I'm gonna talk about our love story. I told you last time about how we first met, that awkward but special meeting. Today, I'm gonna tell you about our first date. So after that first meeting, before we split up, I kind of felt a tiny little butterfly that made me feel, ooh, whoa, you know, that kind of feeling. So I kind of wanted to ask her out. I wanted to ask her on a date. Hey, let's go on a date. But I had not been on many dates before. I was really nervous. Yes, I did not have the courage. I know I look like a strong warrior.
Nope.
Or a Navy SEAL.
Nope.
But inside, I lacked the courage to ask her out. And we connected again. I think it was over Facebook. I still did not have the courage to ask her out on a date, but I decided to give her, give her a hint. So I was like, there are so many places I would like to go before I have to go back home to California. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So many places I want to go, yes, while I'm still in Korea. Why am I telling this to you? Wink, wink, hint, hint. I was scared to death. I would have to ask you out on a date. I'm a coward. I can't ask you out on a date. Why was I such a loser? It's okay. Many of us have trouble expressing our feelings, especially if we like that person. I understand perfectly. Totally acceptable. Let's talk. So I said, there are so many places I would like to go in Korea. And she was like where? Question mark, heart, 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 143, I love you, XXOO. No, just kidding about that part. Just the question mark. Like where? Question mark. And I said, the first place that I wanted to go to, that I had to go to, was Norangjin Seafood Market. So I love seafood, raw fish. I could not think of anybody better to go there with than that lady, Mrs. No. Now known as Mrs. No. Then she was just Sunmi. Sunmi, what's up? And she said, let's meet in front of this exit. And I got there first. I'm a very punctual man. I am never late. So I got there at least 20 minutes early. Honestly, I was kind of nervous. It was only our second time, and this time it felt like a date. I actually put on something decent. I was not wearing flip-flops. I was looking pretty good. I mean, for my standards. I have extremely low standards, but for my extremely low standards, I looked pretty good, if I must say so myself. My hair was almost as well done as this right now. My hair was really nice. I was wearing my best jeans. So I was waiting for her in front of the exit, and she came out. Woo, woo, woo. Ooh, 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 la, la, la. Wow, wow, wow. She looked really cute. This time she was dressed very casually. It was a Saturday morning. The first meeting, it was a weekday. She had just gotten off work. She was wearing all black, kind of formal looking, professional looking. This time she was wearing jeans. They're ripped jeans, really cool, really casual. And she was just wearing a hoodie with ripped jeans and sneakers. Anyway, just really laid back style, kind of like a California girl. Her accent was Australian, her English accent, but her look was Californian. I thought to myself, let's make that more American. Or an even better option is I learn more Korean and then we can communicate. Anyways, now at that moment I was nervous even though she was dressed casually. You know how some girls, they're just dressed so simply, it's like they don't even care. They didn't pay attention to anything, but they just look beautiful. You know that? It was that right there. I wanted to just take out my phone and snap a picture. But I didn't. I restrained myself. We went straight for the market. We headed for the market, and I was just amazed by the huge selection of fresh seafood. Huge fish tanks full of live fish, lobsters, crabs, abalone, mussels, sea urchins, these weird looking things, and everything you could imagine at a seafood market, they have it. So I was in awe. I was like, wow, amazing. I was hungry. It was lunchtime. We're definitely going to have lunch here. That was the plan. Because upstairs, there are restaurants that will cook the seafood you buy for you. And you can just make a meal out of that. That's as fresh as you can get, right? Without eating it on the boat after catching it. This is the freshest, the best. We were walking around, and Sunmi, Mrs. No, she took charge. So she started bargaining for the fish. She was like, oh, can we get a better price? I don't know about that price. You know what? How about $10 or $20? She gave a final offer. I think it was something like $40. And they're like, no. She's like, oh, okay, let me just check over there. And while she's walking away, the guy's like, come back, $40. So she got it for a good price. I was impressed. Wow, what a bargainer. She knows how to wheel and deal. She is one frugal, clever, and sharp lady. And she's wearing ripped jeans. So she looks cool, but she knows how to bargain like a middle-aged lady. There's something very special about that because you can't look cool and bargain. It's either you look like a middle-aged lady and bargain well, or you look cool and you just pay whatever they ask for. But she had both of it. She had it all. And they cut it up into perfect little bite-sized pieces of raw fish. Does that sound amazing or what? I was just like, wow, I had never seen anything like that done right in front of me. I mean, in California, I went to the sushi places where the chef makes the sushi in front of you at the bar, but this was nothing like that. They just, they look really clean and neat and professional. This guy, he was something else. Very skilled in killing the fish and cleaning the fish and preparing the fish into a beautiful platter of hui. The conversation we had, I don't remember much of the conversation because I think we were focused on eating. But I did feel the attraction because this girl who had just bargained for a great price for this fish and was wearing these ripped jeans and this hoodie, she could eat like a killer. She was just pounding this fish down. She did not hesitate to just eat. Apparently, she was not nervous at all in front of me, this young, handsome man, and she just wanted to get a meal. Remember the first meal? She paid for the first meal. This meal, we split the price. Please do not, I'm not a jomsengi, okay? Excuse me, get some water. Okay, so we finished that meal, and then we walked outside the market, and we decided to go for a walk. And in the distance, I saw this huge building. It was golden. Wow, there's a golden building. That looks amazing. It was right near the Han River, and I saw it in the distance, and I told her, hey, Sunmi, you see that gold building? I want to go there. Why don't we walk to that building? Because if we walk, we might talk. And if we talk, we might walk. No, that didn't make sense. We might talk, and then we would get to know each other more. So anyway, she said yes. She said yes, okay, let's walk over there. Wow, she accepted my crazy idea. Because actually that building, it looked pretty close, but it was way farther than I had thought. We walked and we walked and we walked and we walked. I was wearing flimsy little thin socks and like sneakers. My feet were freezing. My toes were turning blue. I thought I was gonna get major frostbite and have 2 or 3 of my toes amputated. I was just in pain. But actually, I did not feel that at that time. I was just so into her. Eventually, we got kind of close to the building, but we realized we could not walk there. There were like big walls and like a freeway along the river, and we could not make it to the front entrance of that building on foot. I was like, okay, let's go to plan B. We'll just go to the bookstore. So we walked to a bookstore, a big major bookstore around there, and we went to the English section and just started looking at books. And she was looking at books and I was looking at books, and I was just kind of keeping my eye on her, like making sure she doesn't stray from me and, you know, meet other people, because she's mine now. And she showed me a book about some obscure movies and some rare architecture. And I was like, you know, like our first meeting, I was like, yeah, wow, okay. Dutch, German, Australian, okay. I was like, Aussie, Australia, Outback Steakhouse, baby. So we spent the whole afternoon in the bookstore, just reading books and talking, and me just listening to her explain obscure things to me. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, yes, that's right. No, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. But go on, I like you. I'll listen all day and all night. So anyways, it was getting dark, the sun was going down quickly. I saw the Han River. It was beautiful. The night view of the skyline, Han River, big buildings, the Seoul landscape. I was impressed. I was with this girl. I was even more impressed. So I had another crazy idea. Let's walk across the river in this freezing cold. We walked all the way across that bridge without ever taking any kind of public transportation or taxi. And we made it to the other side. But before we, you know, split up, I really wanted to ask her out on a date. I started getting nervous about 5 minutes before we split up, because I was like, oh, I want to ask her out, but how am I going to do it? Oh, is she going to reject me? What's going to happen? Screw it. I'll just, you know, message her on Facebook. And I was walking home just regretting it and beating myself up. Chris, you idiot. What's wrong with you? You loser, pathetic loser. Why did you not have the courage to ask this beautiful, talented, wise girl out on a date? And I was like, gotta get home and message her on Facebook. So I walked faster than I ever walked before. And this story is to be continued in the next episode. 기대해 주세요.
Chris issue.
I'm starting to feel the butterflies again, just telling the story. I think I love her even more now. It's funny. Well, I gotta keep this up. I gotta record all these stories, love stories, and make that water boil again and turn back into fire, baby. Fire! Boom! 不花